Before we start, just understand this is not a signal service. Everything you see here is for educational purposes only. Trading involves risk, and the goal here is not to follow trades, it's to learn the process behind them.
Good morning, and welcome to I'm the Trader Capital live trading for law. It's Thursday, May 28th. First and foremost, all glory to the Most High God. Let's bow our heads for a quick prayer, as always, all right? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for another opportunity to try again to learn and grow in these markets. Father, we ask that your will be done today as it is in heaven. Father, we ask that you give us the heart of a giver and make us a lover of our neighbor. Please let me not lead anyone that listens to me astray, but use me as a vessel to bring your children back onto you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Can the church say amen? Amen. Let's begin. Before we jump into the charts, I just want to say this. There was a time I used to sit down on the charts with no real plan, jumping between strategies, losing, blowing accounts, second guessing every entry, and honestly just hoping that the trade would work. And that's where most traders are today, not because they're not capable, but because they don't have a structured process. The biggest pitfalls that causes traders to fail is that they have no knowledge on money, they don't know how to lose, they don't know how the markets operate, and they don't have a winning model. 90% of traders fail, all 90% are plagued with one or more of these pitfalls. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 pillars that every trader must have in their trading to survive and thrive in the financial markets, so you can join the 10% who succeed and fast track your way to the top 1% of the wealthiest people on this planet. It's called the 10% to 1% club. Let's go. Woo! But before we dive deep into the 3 core pillars, when you step into this arena, on this battlefield, you must first have 2 crucial realization. Realization number 1, trading is war. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is the hardest thing that you will ever do in your life. Realization number 2, all traders are money managers. As a trader, your ability to manage money is vital to your survival in this industry and in life as we know it. Most traders think that success in the markets comes from finding the perfect strategy or catching the biggest moves. But the reality is, trading success is built on 3 core pillars. First is money and mindset. This is the foundation of success. Then is risk management. This is the holy grail of trading. This is what will keep you in the game long after everybody else has quit. And lastly, we have trading edge. This is where all traders start. I know this because this is where I started. That's why in today's session, we're going to hone in on your trading edge. Now, everything that we do here is built around one thing, and that is confidence in your trading edge. And I am the Trader Capital. Our confidence comes from 3 things. First, it comes from understanding how the market actually operates. Not what social media says, but how money truly moves. Second is having one trader model. One model with IPDA signatures that we trust and execute on a consistent basis. Third is having a plan and a process, because without a plan and a process, you're just reacting to price and you're winging it each and every time. And this right here, this session, this is where we focus on the 3rd piece, the process. So many people lose confidence in trading and in life because they simply don't have a plan. There's no process they're following. There's no procedures and protocols that they're abiding by. They literally are just winging it. And they wonder why they can't get consistent. They wonder why there's ups and downs in their equity curves. They literally can't figure it out. The uncertainty of not knowing exactly what you're doing, how you're doing it, why and when you're doing it in the market will cause you to fail in trading. Confidence and certainty are key if you want to be successful in trading, and it's your responsibility as the trader, as the analyst, as the fund manager. It's your responsibility to attain that confidence, not only in your model, but also in your processes. So what I want to do right now real quickly is I want to share with you the process that we teach all our analysts at I'm the Trader Capital, and then we'll see that process live in action. This is the 3-step trading process. Step 1, condition. This is where we determine our bias. Before we even think about entering a trade, we need to know the market program. Are we in a buy program or sell program? This is where the market shows its hand. Then we have step 2, stage. This is what sets up your trade and what does your trade look like. There are 2 types of trades, retracement setups and continuation setup. Then we have step 3, execution. This is how you're going to enter, manage, and close the trade. At I'm the Trader Capital, we have 4 entry criteria before executing. I'm not here to force trades. I'm here to execute my plan step by step in real time. All right, let's get into the live trading flow. Now, as you're watching, don't just look for entries. Pay attention to the process behind the entries, because this is what will get you into the 10% of traders who succeed. And if you want to go further to the 1%, well, that's where we break down all 3 pillars inside of the program. I used to think that winning trades built confidence, but it's not the wins. It's knowing exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it before, during, and after each trade. And that is what we're building here. Let's begin with our daily trading processes. All right, weekly target going to this week is 3%. We really have 2 days of trading days this week anyway, and truly. Mental check-in, feeling generally okay. All right, aside from some, pains here. So don't mind me too much. You're going to hear me make some noise when I feel pain, okay? Just ignore that and we'll keep it pushing, all right? But other than that, I'm excited to see what price action has in store for us today. Excited to continue to grow, all right, and get 1% better in these markets. I accept any risk that comes with trading today. I understand that trading comes with real risk and that losing is part of the battle. News, like I said, is Thursday, May 28th. We have a bunch of high impact news coming out, okay, today. We had a bunch of it come out at 8:30. One coming out at 10. Medium impact news at 10:30. Oh, we got high impact news at 12 p.m. today. And then medium impact news at 4:30. So we have news today, making it an optimal day to take a trade. As you can see yesterday, Wednesday, May 27th, we didn't have any news. And that is why I took the day off. All right, I was already in pain. So I just was like, screw it. Forget the markets. It's not an optimal day anyway, so it's my day off, and that's why we didn't stream yesterday. But yeah, today we go high. Medium impact news today makes it an optimal day. Risk going into today, we're at 0.25 of account size, and we have a max of 0.75 per account per day. Weekly program, let's go ahead and establish that right now, because I haven't really even looked at the market like that, really and truly. I don't even know what yesterday was saying. I mean, I looked at it briefly last night, but that was pretty much it. I need to get the range. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Tuesday's range. Okay, so we took Tuesday's buy side, right, because Monday was a holiday. Ooh, came close to the low, but we didn't take it. So weekly program is established as a buy program. Came back into this forward inefficiency, still respecting consequent encroachment of it. Let me adjust my higher time frame ranges. Goddamn, don't mind me. I'm just in excruciating pain over here, but do not mind me. So we're smashing the previous day's low. Okay, so if you're using that as your condition, right, you would be in a sell program going into today, which will be going against the weekly program, right? Just be aware of that. Do have a daily inefficiency in here. Keep price higher, so let's see how price behaves in here. Forgive me if I'm not very chatty today. I'll be trying to silence my pain. Let's get ready for the morning, and then we'll go back into yesterday and see what yesterday's price action is saying. Okay. First things first, condition. All right, determine a directional bias. All right, in order to do that, we must first identify our dealing range for the day, or I use anyway the dealing range, right? There's multiple types of dealing range depending on what kind of trader that you want to be. For us here, day trading, okay, we want the daily and we want the session. You can also use previous day as well, but personal preference. Different days, same processes, all right, nothing's changed here. I go from 12 a.m. to current price action, okay? It's time based, all right, because IPTA runs on time. Without time, we have nothing. Just like that. We've got a dealing range. We wait for one side of that to get liquidated, and that will give us our daily condition program, however you want to put it. Above dealing range high, we've got yesterday's AM session buy side, and we've got previous day's high, which is also same line as 20-day high, okay, above dealing range as potential draws on liquidity. Below dealing range, we have previous week's high. We have Tuesday's London session sell side. Please kick in. ASAP Rocky. I was really debating on being here today. Really and truly, I was debating hard as hell. But I made a commitment. And I'm trying to honor my commitment, be a woman of my word, you know what I mean? Regardless of, you know, what's going on. If we need to get anything lower, I'll go ahead and grab it, but for now, oh well, it's already there, so. Excuse me. Just like that, we're even ready to go already, so just scratch yesterday's price. If we have time, I mean, we'll have time because once open bell kicks off, we have about 9:30, 20 minutes until we can do anything anyway, so we'll have about 20 minutes to go over yesterday, so just be patient, be patient, be patient. Brrr. Brrr. Man's dying out here in these streets, golly. Whoa, I do not like that open range gap. Ugh, why would you do me like that? Sorry, I'm gonna mute you. I yeah, I don't like that size of opening range gap, but anyway, we've taken Why is my dealing range not synced, bro? What is going on here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're taking dealing range buy side. Okay, we've established a condition for the day as a buy program in line with our weekly program. Okay, so we're looking to be a buyer of this market here, but I don't know what the hell is going on here, to be honest, with these open range gap. That is just a nasty ass gap, to be honest. It's just gonna throw me off this whole morning, to be honest. God damn. It's above price. Okay, so we gap down. That tiny ass freaking gap there. Wow, what kind of BS is that? Anyway, let's see what price has in store for us today. Me don't know why this shit is not okay, all right, there we go. In motion. I will talk when necessary, okay? When not, I'm gonna be here in my pain. This would be a V-shape setup, okay? But we don't have time for me, so I'll just be watching it. Currently watching this V-shaped retracement setup here, okay? Not one that I would currently take right now because I'm strictly macro now, but obviously one account can take these, okay? But I'm fine. 950 macro. What you got in store for us today? Oh, I said I was gonna get the definition of macro, right? I don't think I have it on this I don't think I have it on this paper, on this notepad I got here. There's a lot of planning going into this notebook in here when it first started. Damn, this is all just the begin, the refinement in it process. How nice! Oh, I like this. Damn, I need to go back over this shit. Oh, sick dog! Look at that. Can you believe I did all this? Can you believe I did all this? Just looking back at it, like, who was I? Who was I? Like a mad scientist in the lab here. Like a mad scientist in the lab. Yeah, damn, been going crazy with this shit here. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna happen, you know. This was just me trying to get like a process, trading process together. Oh, this looks sick, dog. Ooh. Look at this shit right here. Who was I? Who was I? Golly, I did all this. Smart girl you are. I had a big fat grin on my face all day. Ah. Yeah, I don't think I have on this notepad, to be honest. I gotta go back over this though. This is some good shit on here. Jackson Hole Symposium equals choppy, overlapping price action. Okay. There's a lot of good shit on here though, ain't gonna lie. Yeah, but know what I'm looking for really and truly. But this is some good shit. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Who was I? I didn't even know who this girl was. Are we still in trading hours? I was just trying to figure this shit out. You know what I mean? Yeah, my hands are starting to hurt. It's not in this notepad what I'm looking for. Fucking hell. Oi, 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 oi. Ole, ole, ole. We got time, but not price, all right? Nothing for us to do. Brrr. Enjoy your meeting. Bloody hell. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Let's get open range, dealing range up in here. God damn. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Woo! Wee, 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 wee. Wee, wee, wee. Like a cop car. Goddamn. Ah. Mm. Do not mind me. Do not mind me at all today. I'm in my own world right now. I'm in my own very, very painful world. So, woo! Woo, 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 woo. To all my female traders, I got a big question for you guys. God damn, what do you guys do on the time of the month? Do you trade? Do you leave the markets alone? Is the pain bearable enough for you to be in front of the charts? Do you make sane decisions? Fucking hell, mate. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Can't even talk about today's topic, right? Scale and Q&A Thursday. Scale and Q&A Thursday. Hold on. Let's see, let's see, let's see. No. Scale and Q&A Thursday. Ooh, I'm just gonna leave that PowerPoint there. I ain't gonna say much, but there's 4 ways to scale, okay, your trading business. There's 4 ways to scale your trading business, all right? 2 ways using your own money, all right? And 2 ways using other people's money. That's what OPM stands for. OPM, other people's money, all right? So it's not about trade. Once you master the skill of trading, right, the potential is limitless, right? You don't need your own money, right, to start then making money, okay? This is why it goes back to the myth when we talk about the misconceptions and myths about money, right? People think that it takes money to make money, right? It doesn't take money. Like I said, it takes these 4 things: courage, creativity, persistence, and action, all right? Every person on this planet, on this earth, right, has these 4 things: courage, creativity, persistence, and action. That's what it takes to make money. It doesn't take money to make money, all right? Once you master these skills, the potential is limitless, all right? It's limitless, okay? Because if you don't have the money, right, that's okay. You have the skill. The skill set is the most important thing, right? Because there's people out there, right, that will partner up with you and give you their money, right, so you can trade for them. Once you prove that obviously you can do the skill, there's companies that will provide the capital, the funds for you to trade, right? So you don't need to worry about not having enough money to trade right now. Just work on the skill, master the skill, because the skill set is the most important thing. I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'll be back when there's something pertinent to say. You saw that? As soon as the magic magnet came on the screen, the price was just like, whoa. She put the magnet on the screen. She put the magnet. Ifta says, she put the magnet on the screen. Let's go for the magnet. Let's go get that magnet. Let's go giddy. Giddy, 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 giddy. It's all about the magnet. When the magnet ain't on the screen, you don't really see nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? But once that magnet comes on that screen, boy, what? Ifta don't know how to act. She like, shit, that's the magic magnet. We gotta go for that magnet. We gotta go for it. Two, 4, 7. It's all in the magnet, baby. We trying to thug it out over here. We thugging it out over here. Ooh, we. God damn. Shit. We haven't even talked about the tax benefits here, all right? We haven't talked about the tax benefits. I'm gonna somehow worm that into scale, okay? I'm working on the material on the PowerPoints. Obviously not this week because things happened, but yeah, we haven't even discussed it. Well, we have a little bit. We haven't discussed the tax benefits specifically in our asset class, and because we are day trading, right? There's a lot of tax benefits in trading the futures market and being a day trader. Okay, so remember, 4 steps to build 4 steps to creating wealth. Okay, step 1, create income. Step 2, increase income. Step 3, keep that income, keep the income. All right, step 3 is the most, not, I wouldn't say the most important part is step 1, creating income, because you need a solid foundation. But step 3, right, keep your money. All right, so you can then do step 4. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We're hanging in here, we're hanging in here, we're hanging in. Step 4, invest the leftover money, right? So how you keep more of the money, right? Step 3, keep more of the money. That's where the tax savings from being a not just a day trader but trading the futures market comes into play, right? Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Let me find that. Let me find that. Let me find that. Real quickly. Quickly, quickly. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is that thing? Tingum, 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 tingum. Okay. Hold on. I think I can. Um. Yeah, I need to obviously adjust this. Don't worry about it. This is just use this for now, okay? As a reference. I'm not even sure you can see that, but really, I'm really just trying to distract myself right now from the pain. So just bear with me right now. Just bear with me. Just do it. Um, yeah. We're talking about skill, right? We're talking about skill. We're talking about keeping more of our money. Step 3 in terms of the 4 step to create wealth. Okay. These are some of the additional benefits to it should say day trade in the futures market, right? Because you can only get TTS, all right? Well, you don't have to be a day trader. It's actually if you take four trades, is it per day? And it's not like 4 individual trades. It's like entry and exit is 2 trades in itself, right? So if you partial in like 2 partials, that's like 1, 2, 4 trades in that day. It'll make more sense. We'll get into the details, finer details as we go on later down the line. But this is just introducing the tax advantages that come with trading the futures market. Okay, uh, this helps with steps 3 in our steps to create wealth. All right, and keeping more of our money so we have more left over to invest. All right, to build passive income to essentially buy us freedom. Right, that's the goal here, right? That's always the ultimate goal: passive income, passive income, passive income. We want more passive income than earned income. Okay, it's taxed less, and you're not actively involved. in the making of the money, okay? So you're literally just passive, right? The real passive income, right? Not the, yeah, it's passive income, but it's not really passive income, okay? 1 second. You know, it comes in waves. It comes in waves. Like the wave will comes like a tsunami. When it hits, and then it calms down, and then it hits you again, and then it calms down for a while, and then it just jab, 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 out. Woo, fuck! I just fucked up my fucking hand. Woo. Oh, I was jabbing myself real hard. That's how I feel right now. That shit was hard. Ooh. Well, more pain for me to have give to myself, right? Fucking hell, mate. Ah, ga, 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 ga. Oh, oh my goodness. Ugh, ugh. But anyway, some of the tax advantages, right, for trading the futures market, right? If you're trading the futures market, this is just for the futures market. Before we get into this, all right, just a disclaimer: I'm not a tax expert. Okay, I'm just providing you any information I give you here is just educational for educational purposes. Okay, I'm just providing you the information for you to then go ask the professionals. Okay, I'm not a professional. Don't take this as tax advice. All right, this is just what I found from my research. This is what I'm going to be doing for me. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to do it, but I advise for you to take this information and go talk to professionals that do taxes. Okay, because that's not me. I'm not a professional. All right, are we disclaimed? I'm not an expert, bruv. I'm not an expert. Not in taxes. Not in taxes, all right? Are we, everybody sound is disclaimed? Yeah, we in agreement? Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's shake on it. Okay, good stuff. So some of the tax advantages, okay, of trading the futures market, right, is that we get taxed at 60%, right, is taxed at long-term capital gains rate, and then 40% is taxed at short-term gains rate. Okay, so 60% meaning you're taxed at regular, or right, long-term is the regular taxes, right, and 40% of it is taxed at a lower tax bracket. Okay, so you get a little bit of a savings from there. Okay, where 60% of your gains is taxed at long-term capital gain and 40% is taxed at short-term gains, okay? Which lowers your tax rate, all right, when you're trading the futures market in comparison to other asset classes, okay? This is just for the futures market. If you're trading the futures market, if you're trading other asset classes, I'm not aware of their tax savings, okay? So you'll have to do your own research on those, okay? All right. Also, if you qualify, all right, you can deduct trading expenses if you qualify for trader tax status. That's what TTS stands for, trader tax status. I think you have to take. It just depends on the amount of trades that you take, right? Per day overall, you can qualify as a TTS for TTS, all right, which means that you can deduct your trading expenses, which you can do anyway if you set it up as an entity. Okay, so bear in mind we talked about this. When do we talk about this? When we went over the money, the whole thing in money and mindset. Okay. Yeah, you can deduct like software education subscriptions. Okay, so if you're paying for mentorship, if you're paying for education, if you're paying for software like TradingView or whatever else you're paying for in regards to your trading. Okay, all those things are tax write-off. All right. In terms of when it comes to wealth building, okay, like we talked about, ways to scale, right? Trade futures in self-directed 401k IRAs 401k. When we talked about, oh mate, hold on, this is not what I want to do. Yeah, when we talked about one of the ways, all right, to scale your trading business, all right, in that comes under your own money, right, is trading your own self-directed 401k IRA through your business entity. Okay, so if you establish a business entity for your trading business, okay, you're allowed, right, to allocate 25% of your salary, okay, into a tax-free account, all right, retirement account that you then yourself can trade yourself because you have this skill set, right? So like I said, the main thing is I had to make sure that this mic was on because I'll be so pissed, boy. the main thing is mastering the skill, right? Because once you master the skill, right, there's so many avenues you can take this skill. So just don't focus on coming in and thinking, oh, I don't really have money to make money here. Okay, you don't need money to make money. Remember, we just talked about that. But anyway, you can trade the futures with your self-directed 401k IRAs, okay, which is wealth building, right? It's tax-free money that once you allow the compound effect to take into place, right, you can build generational wealth, right, for you and your family for generations to come, okay? Okay, you can grow wealth or tax deferred or tax free. We just talked about that. That's 401k IRA. Roth equals 100% tax free, all right, withdrawals, okay? So Roth are self directed IRAs. Oh my God. Nah, one. I can see the light here, okay? So ah, you would have had me. You would have had me if I couldn't see the light on this mic right here. My ghetto mic. Me and my ghetto mic. Good try though. um, yeah, you can use active trading, all right, to compound your money faster, okay? So your money is velocity, all right? Your money is working hard for you, all right? It compounds quicker and quicker. So you're trading, you're not really taking the money out. It's just you're letting the compound interest take over, right? They do say compound interest is the eighth wonder of this world, all right? There's a reason for that. Look it up, do your research, all right? Never take anything that anybody says to you as law, all right, and take it as your own. Always do your own research, right? Trust but verify. Trust but verify, okay? First hour of trading is behind us, all right? Doing this, all right, allows you to take full control over your retirement capital, right? A lot of people, they just limit, not limit, because it's not even a limit. They, what's the word I'm looking for? They completely like diminish the control of their money, and they trust other people with their money, right? In terms of your 401k at your job, all right, if they give you that, okay, you're entrusting the other people to take care of your money. And when black swan event hits, it's those people with no control over their finances, okay, they're the ones that suffer the most, okay? So if you have a 401k or IRA, right, you're going to be hit the hardest when black swan events happen, okay? Already they're already taking like fees on top of off the bat already, all right? The people that are managing your 401ks and IRAs, right? They're taking fees off the bat, whether they make you money or don't make you money. Once the black swan events hit, they're faultless, right? What are you gonna say to them? What are you gonna say? What are you going to do, right? You have no control over your retirement capital, and you relinquish, that's the word I was looking for. They relinquish control of their finances to other people, right? Those are the people that suffer the most when a black swan event happens, okay? Nobody is warned about black swan events. Obviously, no regular folks are warned about black swan events happening. I'm sure there's people in the know, that small group of people behind the scenes, they know when it's coming, okay? They know when it's coming, but we don't. Us regular folks here, we don't. We don't know, okay? So it's about taking control of your money, taking control of your finances. And you do that by mastering the skill. Because this is where the money game is played. This is where the money is being controlled. This is where the money is being injected into the economy, all right? Through the open market. Remember, central banks, they control the supply of money through the open market, buying and selling government bonds. Okay, so they're in here playing this game, right? This is how they're controlling the money. This is where the money is being controlled, okay? All right? Understand that. Woo! Hold on. So they back to what we were talking about. So it was like a wave. A wave just hit me, so I had to let the wave just take me out. Anyway, they the little secret unknown. Hey, BTC Matt in a bitty. Little unknown secret, right, is that central banks, right, they own hedge funds, right? They own hedge funds, which is one of the ways that you can scale your trading business, okay? Which is one of the ways that I'm going to go ahead and scale my trading business, okay? They own hedge funds where they're in here buying and selling government bonds, and that's how they're controlling the supply of money, okay? So be aware of money. That's why money and mindset is so important. It's so important to master that pillar before you even take a trade, right? You need to know the who behind money. How do you get it? How do you keep it? And how do you get it to multiply? Because that's the whole goal here, okay? There's no point in joining the 10% club, right? If you're just going to be still stuck in a wheel, right, where you're in the 10% club, you're making money here, right, but you're not doing nothing with it. You're spending it, you're doing what the 99% do, spending it on lifestyle and entertainment, and then having to constantly be in the markets trading, all right, to take care of your lifestyle and your entertainment. The goal here is passive income, all right? We come into this ocean of money, right? Ocean of money here in this financial markets. We pull out as much as we can, all right? We take care of ourselves, our family, and the leftover money. Investments, right? Three. The sequence in which we invest, right? In this pool of money, once we master the skill, we're able to actually extract money from this pool of money, okay? First, you invest in yourself, all right? You build your skill set, your asset, okay? Yourself, all right? Enhancing your skill in you, all right? Then you invest in your business, all right? It doesn't have to be a trading business, all right? Just invest in a business. And then once that business is making surplus income, then we invest in income producing assets, okay? That buys us passive income, that essentially buys us freedom, okay? Because that's the goal here, all right? We ain't here to just be part of the 10%. The goal here is to join the 10% to then get to the 1% club. That's why it's called 10% to 1% club, right? I can get you to the 10%, right? I can get you to the 10% easily, right? No doubt about that, right? My goal is to get, I'm getting to myself to the 10%, right? But my goal is to get to the 1%, right? In order to get to the 1% club, you need to know how they think, what they do with their money, okay? Yo, Stock Line Bling. I like that. I like that name. I know when I hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. That's a good name. I like that. Catchy. Brrr. Nothing for us to do here in these charts, all right? We're talking scale and Q&A Thursday to the best of my ability, okay? Grrr. 4 ways to scale your trading business. 4 ways to scale your trading business. 2 ways using your own money. 2 ways using other people's money, okay? Let's start with other people's money, okay? Because I feel like this is the best way once you've mastered the skill, right? This is the best way. If you don't have your own money, all right? If you don't have your own income, enough money, capital to start to scale your trading business, all right? It's best to then obviously use other people's money, okay? And the first way to do that is through funded accounts, okay? I'm currently going for a funded account right now. These are companies, right, that will provide you capital, all right, to trade for them, and then the profits is split, all right, depending on whether obviously you have to prove to them that you can trade and you can manage risk, okay? And once you pass the challenge, you know, it's still simulated trading. It's not real trading. Just be aware of that. You're still demo trading. If you're trading with a funded account, it's still demo trading with the potential to get payouts, okay? So that's one way. Okay, and another way using other people's money is through a hedge fund, something that central banks are doing. Okay, just a little hint, hint, nudge, nudge. All right, a hedge fund is basically a pool of money. Okay, people put money together. All right, this has been done for centuries since finance was a thing on this planet, okay, on this economical planet that we live on. Okay, it's basically a pool of money. People put money together, and people like you and I, all right, us traders, all right, GPs, general partners is what we're called. All right, we take that money, all right, and we trade it here in the stock markets, and when that investments make money, it's split between us and the investors. Okay, that's basically what a hedge fund is, really and truly, in a nutshell. Okay, obviously there's more nuances to it, all right, and that's one thing that I'm trying to educate myself in. Remember, first investment is in myself. That's the only investment that will never fail you, is the investment you make in yourself. Okay, I'm currently trying to invest in myself to learn behind the scenes of actually building a hedge fund, what it takes to run a hedge fund. Okay, so right, that's my first investment in myself, right, for me to then scale to the next level. But anyway, there's obviously more subtle nuances that we'll get into, because as I'm learning, okay, I want to give that information I'm learning to other people that actually want to do the same thing that I'm doing, right? Make it easier and just share the knowledge, share the information. I always say this: once you master this skill, it's not about you. It's not about you anymore. Okay, it's about the people around you. It's about your community. It's about your family. It's about the world as a whole. Okay, um, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Okay, that's what it's all about here. Okay, but yeah, that's what a hedge fund is. Okay, and those are the two ways that you can scale your trading business using other people's money. Okay, now when it comes to your own money, okay, because obviously we're all coming from different walks of life. Okay, some people are coming in here with money already. Okay, they already have their own money that they can trade. Okay, but the most important thing is to master the skill first. Okay, it's not even about the money, it's about mastering the skill. It's all about the skill set here. Okay, once you have the skill set, right, so many doors, so many opportunities, all right, is limitless. All right, fear disappears once you understand what you're doing here. Once you understand what these candlesticks mean, like your worries, your stresses, it just kind of all depletes. It's pointless. But yeah, two ways using your own money is just using regular retail accounts. Okay, let's say you have money, you have inheritance, you just, you worked and you saved money. Yeah, you can just trade regular retail accounts, all right, trading your own money and just make money through there, right? Scale your business through that. Or, right, through a business entity, right? When you establish a business entity for your trading business that we talked about, right, you're allowed to allocate 25% of your salary, okay, into tax-free accounts, retirement accounts, self-directed IRA, 401k. You can put 401k on here too. Yeah, self-directed IRA, 401k. All right, then you can trade those account yourself on a tax-free account and let compound interest do the hard lifting for you on those accounts. Okay, so these are the four ways that you can scale your trading business. Obviously, I'm gonna be doing all bloody four, baby. Okay, I'm gonna be doing all bloody four, right? But I'm starting with the bottom two, right? I'm starting with the bottom two, right? Once I scale those, then I can go into my own money, right? Use the profits and the money from the bottom two, right, into my own money. Right now, I'm starting with a funded account, right? The goal here is to get payouts, right? Fund my own retail account using the funded account payouts, right? Fund my own retail account, and then once that is obviously going, then we're gonna establish a business entity. This is the order in which I'm doing this, right? This is the order I'm doing this. We're gonna establish a business entity for Trader Capital, all right? Then obviously from there we're gonna do the self-directed 401k IRA. Once we collect enough data from Trader Capital, all right, then right, the final step, right, is scaled into a hedge fund, right? Once I have, you know, once I can have put in proof in the pudding, right, that I can do this, right? I can manage risk, right? I can make a profit, right? Then obviously I'll take that data, all right, to investors and would do the full out fledged hedge fund and see how that goes, right? Because there's people in this world that won't ever be able to master themselves enough to learn this skill, right, or to be able to do this skill here. It takes guts, right? If you're a trader, if you're a speculator, if you're an investor, it takes real fucking nuts. It takes cojones, and some people don't have that because they cannot master themselves enough to master this skill. Okay, they don't have that. I want to be that bridge for those people that just don't want to learn or can't even learn or just don't have no business trying to learn this skill, okay, because they just can't do it, okay. I want to be that bridge for them and just provide them, hey, we can do it for you. We can do it for you, right? You just sit back, relax, and get your monthly distribution, okay? All right. Obviously, not every month is going to be the same amount of return, right? There's risk in everything. We talk about risk when we talk about trading, all right? There's risk in everything that we do in life, all right? And it doesn't change here, right? My goal, obviously, is to make returns, but I'm not always going to make returns. It's about managing the risk, right? Hold on. I'll be back. Hold on. We in here. We in here. We ain't taking the trade yet. We ain't taking the trade yet. Just chatting. Just me running my trap. Just me running my trap. Waiting on 1050 macro, all right, to see what that brings for us, all right? 1050 macro. So far, we have step one in terms of our three-step trading process. Our condition has been established as a buy program. Okay, we're looking to be a buyer of this market. Doesn't mean that we can't sell, okay? But if we do sell, we understand that we're going against our condition and it will be a retracement setup, okay? Darrr. Creating relative equal highs here, okay, for that buy side, okay. Giving the people false hope that it's not going to take their stops up here, but it's going to take their bloody stops. Four ways to trade to scale your trading business, right? If you want to do one, that's fair, right? If you want to do two, you can do that. If you want to do three, you can do that. If you want to do all four, there's nothing stopping you, right? As always, master the skill first, focus on the skill, okay? Because once you have this skill set, right, the world is literally your oyster. Brrr. I know when I hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. These days, someone else. Stop lying, bling. Now, when it comes to scaling with a hedge fund, right, there are three main roles in the fund. There are three main roles, right? There's an expert investor, okay, which is us, right? Traders, right? We are the expert investors. There's a fund manager who understands how funds work, fund administration, okay? And there's a capital raiser, or people, the money guy, right? That knows people, that has good networks, that, you know, knows the rich. All right? So those are the three roles in the fund, all right? Um, Obviously, two of those roles I can fill myself right now. I need a. I'm not really well versed on running a fund or the things that comes with a fund. I know things here and there, right? I've been doing some research and taking some classes here and there on how to build a how to build a fund. Obviously, more needs to go into that side, but I don't need to be the one to fill all three roles, right? So it's about partnership. It's about collaborating with people already in this space that do have the knowledge, right? And I don't have to go and learn something new here, okay? But anyway, hold on. Where's our executive summary? Because we know we worked on this. We worked on this here. At I'm Trader Capital, we specialize in actively trading the futures market with a primary focus on NQ NASDAQ. Unlike traditional firms that rely on a long-term investing, we capitalize on short-term market movements to pursue opportunity while minimizing prolonged market exposure. Built on precision, discipline, and institutional level risk management, our mission is to provide everyday investors access to the level of strategy and returns traditionally reserved for big corporations, big investment houses, and wealthy individuals. Woo! Woo! We're building this shit live behind the scenes, right? Remember, I told you. When it comes to trading and investing or speculating in the markets, right, there are three uncertainties that you must embrace, all right? There are three risks. We talked about risk. Risk is part of everyday life, okay? There's risk when it comes to a 9 to 5. There's risk in everything that we do in life, right? Nothing is a guaranteed. Nothing is promised to you but death and taxes on this earth, right? That's all we know. Death and taxes are the only two things promised to us. Just like when you come into the financial markets, the only thing promised to you is that you take a loss and you take a series of losses, okay? Understand that. Our job here is to manage risk, all right? And control the risk, all right? So risk, control, return. There's three uncertainties in the financial markets. The first one is black swan events, okay? Black swan events are events that it's rare, okay, unexpected and massively destructive, okay? Destructive is something you don't see coming, okay? But when it hits, it changes everything. So like 9/11, that's a black swan event, okay? COVID-19, that's a black swan event. The dot-com bubble, the Great Depression of 1929, okay? All those are examples of black swan events. We can't predict when they will happen, but one thing that history has shown us that is about when it happens, right? It's not about if it's going to happen, it's about when it happens, right? And when they do hit, all right, the people that are affected the most are those who relinquish control of their finances to other people, okay? It's the everyday working folks that trust that their 401k will be there and support them in their retirement, okay? The 401k people, you guys are next. You're the next fat cat on Wall Street to get up, okay? So just be aware of that. All right, the market has been going up, right? Right now it's been going up, but it's prepare for that sharp decline that's coming, okay? We're in a black swan environment, okay? With everything that's going on around the world, we're in a black swan environment, okay? So I'm not an expert or anything, right? I'm not an expert or anything, but I'm just basing on history and what's happened before, right? So don't take my word for it. Trust but verified. Go do your own research. Just saying. Next is gap risk. Okay, gap risk in terms of new week open and new day open. Okay, so when the market closes at 5 p.m. and reopens at 6 p.m., okay, there's a risk that price obviously will gap up or gap lower. All right, nobody knows where it's going to open. Nobody knows that. Okay, so there's a risk there for people that hold trades overnight. Okay, us here, I'm the Trader Capital. We're day traders. Okay, we're done We're done before 5 p.m. So all our trades are closed, so we're not subject to gap risk, okay? Everybody here is subject to black swan events, okay? We're all subject to black swan events, okay? Because we don't know when they're gonna happen. We could be in a trade right now and a bomb is lit off somewhere in the US, and there you go, the market plummets, and nothing you can do about that. That's just the risk we take in these markets, and you have to be aware of those kind of risks, okay? Most people that come into this market, they're blinded to the outside effects that happens in these markets. They just think, oh yes, I can make money, I can get rich here. So that's all I'm focused on. But you need to open your eyes and open your mind to what's happening around you, okay? And be aware of the risk, right? The three main risks, okay? So we have black swan events, gap risk, and then technical issues that can happen in terms of broker, entry, exits, all of that stuff, okay? Your entry and your stop loss is not promised to you, okay? It's not promised to you. 1050 macro. Let's see if we get anything here. So I'm the trader capital. Obviously, our goal here is to mitigate as much as we can when it comes to these three risks in the financial markets, okay? Gap risk, we already have a fix for gap risk, okay? Because we're day trading, we're not subject to gap risk. Black swan events, there's going to be procedures and protocols obviously put in place, but we're not always going to be able to avoid black swan events. That's the one risk we take here. Technical issues, we'll have procedures and protocols in place for that as well, okay? In terms of having backups, in terms of backups and backups and backups, okay? It's going to be automated in terms of risk, but obviously automation with human eyes paying attention behind the scenes as well, okay? Because technical issues, right? Once you go technical, there's always going to be issues. Everything online has issues, right? There's technical issues that come into play, and you need a human eye set behind the scenes, making sure that, you know, the technicals are doing what they need to do. How we control these risks in terms of the three big risks comes with our investment strategy, our style of trading, our model, our edge in the market, all right, our asset class also comes into play in terms of controlling these three risks. No, hold on. It's scale and Q&A Thursday. It's scale and Q&A Thursday. We're talking about scaling. One way I'm scaling is through a fund, all right? It's through a fund, which is being built right now behind the scenes, okay? You are behind the scenes of $1 billion hedge fund. Remember, I told you so, okay? As long as I'm kicking and breathing, all right? This is where I'm heading. You can either join me, right? You can watch me. You can do it beside me, with me. Or you can just sit back and be entertained and see whether I fail or not. And one thing about me, remember, you only fail when you quit, right? As long as you don't quit, you won't fail. Just keep trying and keep trying. Four things that every human being is endowed with by God, all right? To not even to make, to get money, right? Because we don't make money, all right? It doesn't take money to make money. That's a lie. That's a misconception that we've been told about money to keep us broke, okay? It takes creativity, it takes action, it takes persistence, and it takes courage, all right, to get money, right? You don't need $20 to make 40 bucks, okay? So how hedge funds are structured, okay, English is not my first language, so bear with me. It's not the first language. How they're structured, okay, all right, is through a GP and LP structure. What that means is GP is general partners and limited partnership, okay? There's two entities, all right? Wish I had the drawing that I could show you guys, but I don't. Two entities, all right? General partners are us, the traders, the investors, okay? The expert investors. And then LP, limited partnership, is is the pool of money, right? We get investors to put money into that pool, okay? Right. How we're going to structure our fund here, I'm the trader capital, is there's going to be no management fees, okay? Because you have to charge management fees, you have to there's, you know, you have to have some licensing and stuff. So, and as long as you're under a certain amount of AUM, okay, asset under management, okay, you don't really need licensing, and you don't need to charge a management fee, okay? So no management fees, okay? No management fees. We're gonna do a waterfall distribution, meaning how the profits are gonna be distributed. Okay, first 8% will go to investors, and then there will be a 2% catch up for GPs. Okay, and then anything between 10 and 20% returns will be split 30, 70, 30 to GP, 70 to investors. All right, anything above 20% is 50-50. Okay, so we're being incentivized, right? Obviously to get more return, because the more money that we make, right, it gets to split. It gets to split. You know, that's how you keep the GPs invested, all right, or motivated. Okay, so we're tied in together, right? If we don't make you money, okay, then we don't get paid. Really and truly, it's how it's supposed to be, how it is here anyway. If we don't make you money, we don't get paid. We don't get paid. Okay. Reg D 506C, okay, this means that we can advertise, all right. I wouldn't say I'm an influencer, okay, but I'm on social media, okay. I want to be able to talk about what I'm doing, okay, and in order to do that, right, because there's strict rules in terms of when it comes to a hedge fund. Like, obviously, depending on the structure of the hedge fund, you can't really advertise. You can't be like, hey, you know, go to random folks and solicitate and be like, hey, I'm running a fund, you know, you want to invest. It doesn't work like that, okay? But depending on whether, you know, you can advertise or not advertise, right, depending on whether you have a Reg D 506 C, or what's the other one? I believe it's B. You can't advertise. Bear with me. I have the info. Trust but verify. Yeah, 506B. You can't advertise. Yep, 506B. Obviously, with a Reg D 506C, where we can advertise, it comes with obviously more reportings, okay, more another extra additional steps that we have to take. But I think for me, it's worth it, because I don't want to be like chatting about, woo, my ghetto mic. Hang in there, mate. Hang in there. We gonna make it true, me and you. We gonna make it true. I want to be able to talk freely about what I'm doing, okay, and I don't want to break any SEC rules. So, yeah, I don't mind the extra reporting, just so I can talk freely about what I'm doing, okay. Even now, I don't even know if I can be talking about it right now. But hey, nothing isn't set in stone. This is behind the scenes, okay. I don't think I'm breaking any rules, any laws, because it's not really a thing yet, okay. This is just it being built, okay. We will do monthly distributions, and we'll have a lockup period, okay, meaning once you invest with us, your money is locked up for, you have to at least give us an opportunity to you know, do something. I say 1 to 2 years. I put a year down for now, okay, but that might adjust as we get closer to actually launching this thing and building this thing out, okay. Yeah, there'll be a lockup period. Once you invest, your money will be locked up for a certain amount, until if you want to withdraw it, all right. After that period, obviously there'll be fees and stuff that comes with all of that stuff. You want to withdraw and stuff, okay. I don't want to, life happens, right, and people might need their money back for some reason, but it is what it is. Nothing for us here, all right. This, I'm looking at this right here, but obviously time and price. Nothing for me right here. We have time, but price is all the way back down here. Opening range buy side. For me right now, it's probably going to be off at that 12 p.m. high impact news. That's probably going to be the next thing that, you know, 11:50 macro is probably going to be where we see the next setup, or post 12 o'clock. For right now, Hey, Magic Magnet, you see that? I didn't even... Magic Magnet doing its thing, drawing price to it, okay? Next draw on liquidity here, since we've hit our first draw on liquidity. Next draw on liquidity here is previous day's high and 20-day high right now, okay? That's our next draw on liquidity. Magic Magnet back in the scene. Let me put the check mark here. Hit our first draw on liquidity there. It's all in the magnet, okay? It's all in the magnet. As you've noticed, the past couple of days, I haven't been putting that magnet, and well, we haven't been paying attention to our draws on liquidity, really and truly. So now that the magic magnet is back in the picture, it's back again, right? It's just doing its job. It's doing its job, just pulling price to it, just doing its job. Oh, this was nice right here. This was nice. I can mess with this, something like this here. Na 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 na. We have time, we have price right here. Not a price that I would be trading, but this is a continuation setup here of that high. Interesting stuff. More data collecting, right? We'll be able to jump on board on the train whenever we want to, you know. But for now, we know what we're looking for, and if it ain't giving it to us, it ain't giving it to us. That's just a little bit about I'm the Trader Capital, all right? The fund itself will be called something different, all right? But I ain't going to reveal the name yet because I don't want somebody to steal my name. It might already be a thing out there already. I need to do my research on that. I picked a name already, but I'm just hoping and praying that nobody already has that name. If they do, I'll need to tweak it a little bit, but we got a name for the fund already, okay? We got a name for the fund already. I'm like 20 steps ahead right now. You have no freaking clue how long I've been planning this and thinking about doing this shit. Ever since I realized that this is what the central banks are doing, I'm like, what? Shh. Yeah. I thought you were telling me to shit, but I get what you're saying. Shh on the name, shh on the name. Yeah. It will be revealed in all due time, okay? In all due time, it will be revealed. The name of the fund. It's very near and dear to me, okay? It's personal. It's personal to me and what I want to achieve on this planet. The message behind the name is powerful, it's strong, it reminds me each and every day of my mission and what I'm here to do, okay? So yeah, I can't wait to reveal that name. Once I solidify it and claim it for myself, we'll be revealing it. But for now, it's on a need to know basis, okay? It's on a need to know basis. Grrr! I'm being hit by a tsunami right now. I'm being hit by a tsunami. This probably would have been like 6 contracts I'm thinking here. 6 contracts I'm thinking here. How much you want to bet? Oh, 10? God damn. 10 contracts. Woo-wee. That would be money. That would be 2 here, 1 here, 2 here. We're at 5 already. 1, 2. That's 8, 9, 10. Right there. Quick things right there. Stop playing. It's like, it's so short. It's like, but that's all you need, right? That's all you need. You don't need much. You do not need much. Even first presented fair value gap on the 15-minute or 15-second time frame right there. Not that it gives you an entry. Okay, it would have been a inefficiency entry here. All right. IPTA moves for 2 reasons. It moves for 2 reasons. She moves for 2 reasons. To seek liquidity above and below price, okay, and to reprice to any inefficiency above and below price. About understanding how the market actually operates, right? That's the 3 things you need to understand to build confidence in your trading edge, right? We talked about this on, I wouldn't say Tuesday, because yesterday was supposed to be Trading Edge Tuesdays, but we wasn't here yesterday. But Tuesdays we go deeper into, 3 things that you need to do to build confidence in your trading edge, which we talk about at the beginning of every stream anyway, okay? But we go deeper on Tuesdays, okay? Understand the market and how it operates, okay? IPTA, interbank price delivery algorithm, okay? She moves for 2 reasons: seeking liquidity above and below price, repricing to any inefficiency above and below price. If it's not doing any of these 2 things, it's consolidating, okay? Right? It's simple. IPTA, she's a simple gal, all right? She won't do too much. She only has a few things that she can do, all right? In terms of movements, there's only 4 things that she can do, all right? And there's only 2 things that she's seeking. She's moving 4 ways and she's seeking 2 things. 4 ways and she's seeking 2 things. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. Don't make it harder than it needs to be, because we make this hard for ourselves. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this morning up. I won't stay too long because another tidal wave is coming, and yeah. Good. Woo. I'm going to need something in place for the Trader Capital, for my female traders on the floor, okay? There's definitely going to be something in place for this time period, okay? When it comes, right? And I understand, I get your struggle, because I go through the same struggle. There's going to be procedures and protocols for my female traders at the Trader Capital. I'm sorry, I'm going to be sexist as fuck, all right? But it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun working environment, okay? Yeah, when we get there, but we're gonna get there. I wanna build it like the floor, like NY, what is it called? New York Stock Exchange. Like, it's gonna be like a pit. Oof. Big goals, big dreams, big goals, big dreams, and I only fail when I quit. I only fail when I quit. All right, this is gonna be a big ass motherfucking building. Alright, stop playing with me. But anyway, we're gonna have a gym in there. We're gonna have like a meditation room, a games room. Let me stop. I won't even want to leave. I'm gonna have my build, like my building, my apartment complex right above it. Okay, so I'll just walk downstairs. Oh my god, let me stop. Yeah, that makes sense. Provide housing. Anyway, let me do a performance review, okay, and be done. All right, I'll be back here for, no, I won't be back obviously on here, but I'll be back in the charts for 11:50 macro and see what that has in store for us, and see what that high impact news at 12 p.m. has in store for us as well. Okay, so if I do take a trade, I'll keep you posted on that. But if not, I'll keep you posted on X. Okay, if you don't follow me on X, it's still Alice. If you don't follow me on X, I just go back on this thing. It's really, I just post my charts, really and truly, nothing else. It's still Alice, because I'm still Alice right here. This is me, still underscore Alice. I don't know if I can't change it. I don't think I can change it. I do want to change the name, if it lets me change the name. Oh, how do I get to my profile? Can I change the name? People that use this app, is it possible for me to change the name or no? I don't want to get verified. I would love to be able to change my name on here, but who knows? It doesn't let me, so it is what it is. Yeah, still Alice. Follow me on there. Okay. Hey, I was young, alright? I was young and the still thing was popping at the time. I can change it? Okay, yeah, please show me later. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate you here, alright? CFO, everybody. CFO of the Trader Capital. CFO. CFO right there. All right. Trade performance review. What I did well today, all right, is that I showed up. All right, I got 1% better. Gained experience, learned lessons that I'll take into my next trading day, next trading session. All right. Showed a commitment to myself in terms of you. You guys, some of you may know, some of you may not, but like I'm in excruciating pain right now. But I still showed up here and did my job, right? Didn't let outside factors influence what I got going on in here, okay? I didn't see anything for me personally to engage in, so I didn't engage in it. Very happy and pleased with my performance today, okay? Nothing for me to do, nothing for me to do, right? Day trading doesn't mean everyday trading, okay? If your model, your analyst isn't suggesting that, hey, your setup or your model is here, there's no need to be in the market, right? And that's fine doing nothing, right? Nothing wrong with doing nothing, right? Sometimes the best decision is no trade, all right? It is what it is, right? So I showed up today and I did my job, all right? Stuck to my procedures, stuck to my protocols. Very happy and pleased with my performance today, okay? Where I fall short will be wake up time, okay? But during these times, I'm very lenient on myself in terms of waking up and morning routine, okay? So even though I fell short there, it's not a big deal today because of outside external factors that's going on that I have no control over, okay? It's just Mother Nature doing its thing. It is what it is, all right? Um, Other than that, I don't think I fell short anywhere else chart wise, or I didn't really take any trades, didn't see anything. All right. The only thing that I saw with this 930 retracement setup, okay, that gave us negative 1.5, right, would have allowed us one contract, would have been at a negative one. And that was pretty much the only thing that I saw this V shaped entry here. That was pretty much it. Obviously, when we took that buy side here, it gave confirmed a buy setup here, okay, so a lot of things I was paying attention to, but nothing really that I would have put risk behind, okay, where I'm at right now in my price reading and what I'm looking for in terms of chart. How I can improve for next day, next trading session is just keep showing up, right? Keep seeking excellence in everything that I do. Don't let short-term adversity, losses, series of losses deter me, distract me from what I got going on. All right, keep taking small steps in the right direction. Eventually, we'll get to our destination. Keep the goal and the target in the forefront of your mind always, okay? So while I'm talking here and talking about where I'm going, it's just a reminder to myself, right? Of why I'm doing this, where I'm taking this, and where we're going. Okay, it's not for anything else but to remind myself each and every day, constantly, what the goal is, what the target is, why we're doing what we're doing, and why we're working so hard. Okay, to get to where we need to get to. Right, because there's a purpose here. There's goals that we're trying to hit. Trying to get to that financial freedom. We're trying to get to passive income, not just for ourselves, but our family, our community, our nations, and for the world as a whole. Okay, for the world as a whole, because there's only two commandments. There's only two commandments that we must follow by the word. There's only two commandments. Love God wholeheartedly with your soul, with your mind, with your body, every part of your fiber, right? So love God, glorify him, worship him, okay? And then the second commandment is to love your neighbor like you love yourself, okay? Those are the only two commandments, all right? Everything else, not that it's not important, right? But those are the only crucial two commandments in the Bible that we must follow as the church, okay? And that's why, for me, it's very important that once you master the skill, it no longer becomes just about you, right? It's about the person, people next to you, people around you, okay? And not just the people that you know, okay? It's not about just the people that you know. It's about strangers, random people, all right? It's just about making this world a better place, right? So everybody can live a happy, fulfilled life. It's getting really, really tough and hard out there. It's getting really tough, dangerous out there, okay? So we must be the change that we want to see in the world, all right? Shout out to, was it Gandhi? Gandhi, right? He said that. Be the change that you wish to see in the world, all right? We must be that change, all right? It must start with somebody, all right? And like we talk about here, okay, it takes one person in a family, right, to change that family's history for generation. And because I'm here today, is in my family, I'm that person. It's my responsibility. I've taken it onto myself to be that person that changes my family's history for generation. Okay. And if you're listening to me, if you can hear my voice, all right, wherever you are, whoever you are, it's your responsibility now, all right, because you can hear my voice right now. It's your responsibility in your family to be that person to change your family's history for generations to come, okay? And stick with me. That's our goal here. We'll get it done, all right? All right. Keep analyzing the data. I'm a rumbler tumbler. but when I'm doing this, when I get into the flow state of this, right, that pain disappears and the tsunami just disappears, right? So that's why I keep going, just to avoid that pain. But anyway, keep analyzing the data. Keep analyzing the data. What we're doing here is mainly just collecting data. Is really a data collecting session, really and truly what I've been doing for the past 6 years. I've just been curating data, extracting the information from the data that I need to build my processes, to refine and get to the point where I'm at today. And this has been 6 years in the bloody making. It's been blood, sweat, and tears, bro. Blood, sweat, and tears, and just fear and doubt in every day waking up thinking, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? But remember, you only fail when you quit, okay? And I'm not a quitter. I don't quit. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. All right. If I quit something, it's for particular reasons. But I don't like losing. I don't like failing. I don't like to quit on anything that I do. Okay. But anyway, no trade breakdown today because there was really nothing for us to take here. All right. What we're looking for in price. Okay. Here I'm the traded capital. So really and truly, this was, like I said, this was the only thing I potentially could have been in. Okay. But I told myself I'm just gonna focus on macro setups, okay, and later on if I get another account, okay, we'll do like the 30 setups. But for now, I'm just gonna stick with macro setups and just be content with it and just watch the 30s go without me, okay, and feel no type of way about it. But that's it from us here. I'm the Trader Capital. All right, solid data collecting session for us. All right, we didn't really do nothing, but that's okay, right? Nothing wrong with that. All right, it's hard for new traders to come into trading and not do anything, right? Because they feel like they have to be in the market. The candlesticks are moving, so they have to be part of the move, right? But not every move is for you, right? Know what you're looking for, right? Understand why you're looking for it, when you're looking for it, and if you don't see it, you don't see it, all right? Process over outcome, process over outcome, process over outcome, all right? Judge yourself by whether you're following your processes, your procedures and protocols, and not by the outcome of your day, not by the outcome of your session, okay? Because the outcome will come once you have a process that you're following consistently. You've back tested it, all right? You've forward tested it, you taped read it, you demoed it for a long time, and you build that confidence in that model, in the process, and what you're looking for, okay? But yeah, like I said, I'll be back on the markets looking at it for 11:50 macro and to see what that 12 p.m. high impact news have for us. But other than that, let's wrap this bitch up in a bow. I'm sorry for my language, but that's just me, right? If you don't want to invest with me because of my language, that's a personal preference. That's cool. I can't dim myself and my light and not be who I am because I'm trying to attract investors. Okay, I want to attract the investors that know me for me and still trust me regardless of my flaws. And pretty much that's it, right? That's it. Try to make this a professional show, but it's still professional, right? In the sense that I'm showing what I can do here, right? But in terms of my personality, I don't know. I can't change. It is what it is. But let's wrap this bitch up. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. There was a time that I would finish a trading session and still feel lost. Even on days I made money, I didn't really know why it worked. And on losing days, I had no system to fall back on. That's the difference between guessing and having a real edge. And here's the truth. Most traders only focus on entries, but consistency comes from the system behind the entry. So if you've been watching and thinking this makes sense, but I don't have the full system yet, that's exactly why I created the 10% to 1% club. That's where we go deeper into all three pillars, the full model, the risk management system, the money and mindset principles needed to join the 1% club, and the exact process to follow daily. If you're serious about becoming consistent, that is your next step. I used to think the goal was to win more trades, but the real goal is to become the type of trader who can perform no matter the outcome. Because once you have that, the results will follow. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next AM session, kicking off at 9:15 a.m. Kickoff once again at 9:15 a.m. To be on time is to be late, okay? So make sure you show up early. As always, I'm the trader here, signing out. Good luck, good trading. Happy bloody hunting. Remember, you only fail when you quit.